Hey, it's Michelle coming to you with some kitchen inspiration. I am making shrimp tacos for dinner just because I've been in the mood for them for a couple days, and I had a couple avocados that are ripe, so I was looking for it to make some guacamole, so I thought I would share a super easy recipe. Okay, so I'm going to be using my grill pan, single burner grill pan, and this is the one where the handle comes on and off for storage to make it super easy to take care of. Sorry, I need two hands to do that, to make it super easy to put away, okay? So, and I'm also going to be using my blender. So I got my blender sitting right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is make the sauce, because honestly, it's all about the sauce, okay? So I've got my blender right here, just taking it off the base. See how it's nice and clean. See all those blades in there? And you know what interesting thing about our blades is they have this one has a little serrated edge, but they're not sharp. You can put your fingers on them because it's not the sharpness. We're not slicing the food or pulverizing it. So it's about the power in the motor, not about that. Not about the sharpness of the blades that makes this work so well. Okay, so what I need to put in here is 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. Sorry, not in the mood to measure today. It's not like an exact recipe, so it doesn't really matter. I made it up as I went along. Okay, and 1/4 of a cup of cilantro, which I had in my freezer. I always put, because you know, you buy that stuff and then it goes bad. So I always chop it up and just throw it in a Ziploc in the freezer so that next time I want cilantro, parsley, green onions, all those things, I keep them in the freezer. Just a little tip for you. Saves you some money. A piece of a jalapeno, which was also in my freezer because I never use a whole jalapeno. Oh my gosh, it's encased in ice. I don't want the whole thing. I only want about half of this. So I'm just going to pull it out. So I slice them. I take the seeds out of them. I put them in a Ziploc bag. It's a big hunk of ice in there. I'm going to get rid of that ice. Okay, let's go back in the freezer. Some sea salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon. And a 1/2 tablespoon of everything taco seasoning. This is the key to this recipe. Seriously, it's the key. It makes a difference. Each one of these lids holds a tablespoon, so I needed a 1/2 tablespoon. Okay, that is everything for my sauce. So we're gonna pop that over here on the blender bowl, on the blender. Excuse me. There we go. I forgot to plug it in, so it's not really gonna work if it's not plugged in. In case you were wondering. So you have to plug it in, and then when you turn it on, actually, I'm going to show you. It says lid because the lid is not locked on. So you're going to lock the lid on tight, let it make the little R2-D2 or C3PO noise in this case. And we're going to use the pulse function. It has all these other functions, but we're going to use the pulse function. About 15 seconds to do it. Most of the time when I'm using my blender, I'm using the settings, like the smoothie setting for smoothies or margaritas, 1 minute, make perfect. I don't use alternate milk all that often, but you can make your own almond milk and stuff. The grind setting is what gets used most of the time in my house, 2 minutes to peanut butter or hummus. Of course, this is the heated wash setting. I love it that it cleans itself. And then you have all your heated settings over here where it boils the soup and it boils the sauce. And it boils the spaghetti sauce and the hollandaise sauce and the hot chocolate and all those things. And then, of course, your jam setting, which is amazing. Pulse. What do I use Pulse for? Most of the time when I'm using Pulse, it's to make pesto, which takes about 30 seconds. It's to grate my Romano cheese for my pesto. I actually drop the block in there, and it will grate the cheese right up in about 20 seconds. It's amazing. If I had cheese in this recipe, I would show you. What did my family do? They must have used the blender this morning because the blender, yeah, the blender thing was not where it was supposed to be. This is the long skinny scraper for the blender. If you get the blender, always make sure you get the long skinny scraper. Oops, I don't want to pour that in there yet. First thing I want is some coleslaw. So I have a bag of coleslaw mix. You could also alternately shred up some cabbage and some carrots, but I knew I was gonna kind of be in a hurry today, so I just I bought a bag of coleslaw mix, which works fine. All right, so put that in there, and now I'm gonna dump this sauce into it, and I'm going to use this spatula, long skinny scraper that they came out specifically to go with your blender because it gets in all the nooks and crannies in there, which, and and the handle's long enough to do this, okay? Whoops. I'm gonna scrape it all down because the stuff is yummy. So, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me scrape perfectly, but you get the idea. Okay, move that out of the side way. And we're gonna give this a quick stir because we want this to do some marinating, okay? So this is really where your flavor comes from in your recipe. All right, I'm gonna put that to the side. All right, next step, let's get the blender piece out of here, is I have my shrimp, which were frozen. So I defrosted them and I peeled them already. I'm gonna use a tablespoon of more of this everything taco seasoning, and I need a spatula. And I'm just gonna give it a toss. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to preheat my grill pan, because when you use your grill pan, you always preheat it, because your grill pan, go with the name, grill, right? It's just like cooking outside on the barbecue, in that you always preheat your barbecue before you go outside and grill a steak or some hamburgers, right? So we're gonna preheat our grill pan, and and then we're gonna put the shrimp on it when it's real hot. Okay, so we'll let that sit for a minute or two. And the next thing we're gonna work on while our grill pan is preheating is we're gonna make the guacamole, okay? And I just realized my guacamole knife is in the car. So we're gonna do it without the avocado knife. Just gonna grab one of my forged cutlery knives. This is our 3-inch forged cutlery knife. This is way easier to do with the avocado tool, but if you don't have our avocado tool and you eat a lot of avocado toast and guacamole, you definitely get it. But since I used it at my show a couple days ago and I never unpacked it yet. Ooh, that avocado does not look great. I know, luckily I have some other ones over here. Let's see if I can. Not in love with that one. I will probably cut out the good parts and use them. All right. So what happens when we wait too long. Okay, so whenever I'm doing avocado, I always gently cut it right in here. Just makes it easier. I do this with my avocado knife too. And pull it out of the shell into the bowl. Okay, so what's my recipe for guacamole? Everybody has their own, and we have some really good guacamole seasoning if you like that. My family likes this recipe I've been using forever, which is 2 avocados, and we'll come back to that. 1 small tomato, okay? And I don't put onion in mine because I can't eat raw onion, so that's a personal preference. But I should be using the tomato knife. It'd be a heck of a lot easier. Tomato knife is a serrated one, okay? So we're gonna put some tomato in here. I just dice it up, and I don't bother taking the seeds out or anything. It's fine. Okay, I'll put those in. I'm gonna go back to my other ones, but I wanted to show you this real fast. Okay, so then what else goes in? About a tablespoon of lime juice. If you have fresh lime, even better. Squeeze it out of that. I don't always have fresh lime, but I always have lime juice. About a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. If you don't have cumin, you can use chili powder, which the main ingredient is cumin. About a teaspoon of salt. I use sea salt. And 1 clove of fresh garlic. Okay, actually, I always like to cut my garlic in half first because you get a lot more out of it if you do that. You don't have to peel it, but cut it in half, okay? Put it in there, give it a good squeeze. Where's the garlic tool? It was here. Up there it is. It disappeared behind the blender. So that's the whole recipe basically for guacamole. And then I just kind of smash it up, mix it up, and let it sit for a few minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that, but right now we're gonna work on our shrimp. So this is a very fast recipe. recipe, which I like. Now I'm going to turn the pan down to medium high. I had it on high just to get it hot. And because I'm doing shrimp and they're kind of delicate, I am going to quickly brush a little bit of olive oil on this pan. Okay, if I'm doing chicken or steak or something like that, I don't do that because you can flip them without them breaking. But shrimp, you know, it's a little fussy. It's kind of delicate. So we're gonna drop this shrimp in here. And I forgot a vital thing to do, which was open my windows, because my smoke detector will start going off soon, and then you guys can laugh really hard. My husband's gonna be here in a second. I'll let him open the windows. But I always open the windows when I do this because my smoke detector is super sensitive. I'm gonna open the one right here. So that's gonna cook just a minute or two on each side, and then we'll be ready to eat. So I had a funny thought and I wanted to share it with you guys. I know you guys watch me cook all the time, and I didn't realize what I was doing. I was just cooking for you because I'm cooking for my family. Somebody told me the other day, said, "You're such a great content creator." And I was like, content creator? That's like a social media thing, right? Well, this is what I do, create content, right? That's part of my job. And my content happens to be cooking. I'm creating recipes in front of you. So if you are interested in being your own content creator and you'd like to have your own online business, make sure you talk to me because I would love to help you get started. You know, this is a career for me, 25 years now, but it doesn't have to be a career for you. It could be, and it might be something that you would really like and be really good at. All right, let's look at these shrimps again. I'm gonna use my chef's tongs. These are the ones that are locked when they're up and they're locked when they're laying in the drawer, and they only open facing down. So they don't get tangled with everything, you know, because that would be annoying. Nobody wants them tangled with all your stuff in the drawer. So you can see how these shrimps are turning over nicely because I oiled the pan just gently. If you're doing chicken, which I do a lot of chicken in the grill pan. Matter of fact, my kids, when they were little, used to call this the yummy chicken pan because this is how they liked the way I made chicken. Because before I started Pampered Chef, I was a terrible chicken maker. And I used to overcook it because I was so afraid it wouldn't be cooked enough. And then it was always dry. And then when I got this pan, they were like, "That's the yummy chicken pan where you make the yummy chicken." So we nicknamed this the yummy chicken pan. So if you're doing yummy chicken in it, you do not have to oil it, okay? These tongs are going to be a little dirty now, so I'm going to give them a quick rinse. And I'm going to go back to my guacamole. And that was basically it. So thanks for joining me. We're going to take some flour tortillas, put some shrimp in the bottom, and put some of that coleslaw in the top, and add some guacamole. And that's dinner in like 10 minutes. So just thought I would share with you. Hope you guys had a great evening. And if you liked this video, please go ahead and share it with your friends on your feed because they would like that and they like to get new recipes. And if you have ever thought about being a content creator and having your own online business, please talk to me. Have a great day.